Hey, so I've been working on some portrait studies using markers in a way to hone in on my skills. For this study, we are going off the reference picture that's at the bottom corner, and he is actor Byeon Woo Seok, and he plays in the K-drama Strong Girl Namsoon. This is a side note, but I watched this drama specifically for him because I watched the movie 20th Century Girl and thought he was really cute in there, so I drew him while watching this drama. But I actually wouldn't use this drama as a recommendation for someone else to watch since it actually wasn't all that great in my opinion. If I recommend a drama for a friend to watch, then it's because I think it's a 10 out of 10 and this drama just wasn't it. There's actually a lot of comments I have about it, but you guys didn't come here for a drama review, so I'm gonna leave it at that and let's get back on topic. Doing portrait studies can be boring for me, so usually I'll do studies of a person that I like since that makes it a bit more entertaining for me. I drew the sketch of him in a different sketchbook and then I enlarged it and then transferred the sketch onto my Ohuhu mixed media sketchbook. If I'm being entirely honest, I don't like the texture of this Ohuhu sketchbook, but it does work for using markers. It does bleed through if you use a lot of layers, but it also has like a lot of pages, so I guess it's not that bad. I just prefer to sketch on smoother paper than this Ohuhu mixed media paper, so I did the original sketch in a different sketchbook, one that I liked better. And this may sound a bit confusing, but I like doing different things on different paper and different sketchbooks. So I did a sketch on one sketchbook and then transferred it over to another to color it in. But like in this way, if I do screw up the coloring process, at least the original sketch is safe and I could just transfer the sketch over again and start over. So I transferred the sketch over with my homemade graphite transfer sheet. If you have questions on how I did that, I could explain that process another time. But after I did that, I used my eraser to line the graphite lines, and then I used my color pencils to do the line art. I wanted the lines to sort of blend in, so I used different colors like red on the lips, and peach for the lines bordering the skin, and black for the hair in the suit. And the result is what you saw in the beginning of this video. This time for coloring in with markers, I decided to use the colorless blender. I've never used it before, so I figured I'd try to use it this time, thinking that it would help, and maybe it did. I high-key can't really tell, but what I would do is I would place the colorless blender down first, and in a sense it felt like doing that was prepping the paper, getting it moist and ready to take on the layers of marker I was going to put on top. Though I wasn't sure if that was the best way to use it, but I felt like when I placed the colorless blender on top of the markers, it didn't react quite right, so I stuck with placing it down first and coloring in section by section so that it doesn't dry before I put down the next color. So for the first layer, I used the colorless blender and 3 other light marker colors for the base of the skin. I feel like using 3 colors gives the skin more of a complexity than just using one color as the base. For those colors, they were more like yellow colors and peachy colors, and after completing the whole base color of the skin, I went in with more of like a dusty pink color where some of the shadows were, and then on top of that I went in with a brown color to deepen the shadows a bit more. Now in a bit you'll see me try to use the colorless blender on top of the layer of markers. Right here on the neck. Do you see how weird that looks? But anywho, once I did that, I was like, oh man, regrets. But I used one of the peachy colors on top to make it not look as weird, but it ends up being alright. But like after that, I figured the way that I was using the colorless blender just works for me, like putting it down first. Anywho, then I go in with like a cool gray and work on the shadows again. Once I felt satisfied with the face, I started working on the hair, and I placed the lightest color first, where I felt the highlight would be, and then I worked on placing this dark brown as the mid-tone. Then I used the same dark brown for the eyes, and once I did the eyes, it felt like the piece was finally starting to come together. Like I was pretty anxious before this moment because I was like, oh man, am I doing things right? Is it gonna work out? But like once I did the eyes, I was like, okay, things are coming together. But anywho, after that I continued with the hair, and then I used some black for the shadows in the hair. Then I went with the dark brown here and there to put some shadows a bit further on the face. Once I was done with the face, I moved on to the suit and his outfit, and then at the very end I'll add in the white highlights with my white charcoal pencil. So like that's the whole process of how I did this piece, and I had like the reference picture up and I would look back at it from time to time, and that helped me like make the decisions that I made. But like at the very end, I'll like have like a side-by-side with the results and the reference photos, and there are things that I do see that I could have done better. But I do think it's a successful marker study, since I felt like I was understanding how to use markers to get good results. One thing that I felt like one thing that I did in this piece that, you know, could be helpful for anyone listening is that instead of like using just one color for like the skin or one color for the hair, what I was doing here was like I was using multiple colors to build up the color, which I feel like it helps the piece look less flat and it makes it look a bit more interesting, having those multiple colors coming together to create the piece. But yeah, so that's what I did. Being able to experiment like this is pretty fun. It actually is a tad bit stressful, like the entire time I'm like stressing out and like sweating, whatever. But like, as much as it can get stressful, it's usually because like I'm trying to like, wow, I just lost the words. Where did my words go? But usually I'm stressed out because I really want it to turn out well, and I don't know if it's gonna turn out well when I'm experimenting. But it is pretty fun to experiment, and I do get to learn a lot. And yeah, if you like stuck around until the end of this video listening to me talk and watching me color, then thank you so much. And I hope like the things that I said in this video and the things that you saw were helpful in your own artist journey and in your own pieces and whatnot. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.